Welcome to the studio at African Utility Week. Today I'm with Gordon Molefe from the Botswana Power Corporation. He is the Director of Customer Services and Supply. Gordon, I'd like to talk about Botswana in terms of what is happening with electrification in the country. I believe that you are aiming for 80% by 2016.
Yes.
What is the strategy? How are you going to achieve this?
Actually, our winning strategy basically has been improving network penetration in terms of deploying network to new villages or doing network extensions in areas that were not electrified, but there were pockets of access challenges. So this has worked tremendously for us over the years. If I give you an example, in 2009, access to electricity was just 43% or 49%. But right now we are talking about 69%. It contributes significantly to the momentum of gravitating towards 80%. Right now the national access is already 75% if you combine the rural and the urban. So the winning strategy is to make sure that we are accessible. But most importantly, we need to come with strategies that will reduce the connection time. We need to make sure that we improve in terms of connection, reducing the connection time. One of the stands that we've taken is that we open up and do more outsourcing, allow customers who are able to do their own connection using their own contractors under strict BPC supervision to do so. That way we are joining hands with customers to gravitate. Of salient importance will be the issue of self-service, where customers will be able to get online and make application from home. That will reduce the traveling time to go to BPC office and make an application. So I think it all goes back to say that we need to be more innovative, move at a faster pace so that we reach the 80%. And we think that is achievable.
And what about revenue protection for the utility? What strategies are you putting in place there, such as looking at different payment solutions?
In terms of revenue protection, broader topic as it is, we might want to reflect on what are basically the issues that led you down in terms of collecting revenues. Is the issue of natural outages, the issue of vandalism, and then the issue of theft to electricity itself, where users will use electricity and then not pay for it. In terms of natural faults or outages, we invest year on year in terms of augmenting our network to improve its reliability, improve the uptime. And then the issues of vandalism, basically we deal with the security forces to assist us in terms of reducing vandalism. And of course, innovation, come with better technologies that are deterrent. We've introduced what we call copper weld. This is a low copper content kind of cables that are less attractive to the vandalizers. So that's some of the things that we are doing. Most importantly, after conversion to prepaid, we found it compelling to come with a revenue protection framework. We never had such before, but we've since instituted that. It is in place, and since January last year to December, making a synopsis or a trial test, we've been able to protect about 30 million people that would have gone down the drain. So a revenue protection unit at BPC is a must, and we will make sure that it's there going forward.
Here at African Utility Week, you participated in the conference sessions.
Pardon?
At African Utility Week, you participated in the conference sessions.
Yes.
What was the key solutions that came out of the sessions for you?
The key solutions that came up for me is the issues of smart grids and leveraging into the telecommunication services to assist us do better in terms of electricity. You know, like when you talk about smart metering, when you talk about remote metering, that's an element of the telecommunication where you have to send a signal to a remote meter. SCADA, for example, telemetry is an issue of telecommunication. Smart grid is basically about having your network intelligent enough to detect where they predict possible areas of faults. That way, it will assist us to have our network resilient, better uptime, better revenues therefore. So this is one salient issue that I got from the Africa Utility Week in this presentation. I must say something that was quite appealing that I didn't know, that some African countries are able to say that they have 99% electricity access, while we are talking 80%. That was interesting. What I learned from that is that it now generates a need for one to go and see what was their winning strategy. Yeah, it gives us opportunity to research more. Yeah.
Botswana is a landlocked country. Do you think that your challenges are any different from other countries that are, on the coast?
Yeah, definitely, because if you may know, a lot of African countries are getting their materials from overseas manufacturers. And this means that there are a lot of transition points before the material reaches the destination. And that talks to the issue of cost. It talks to the issue of lead time to deliver, and subsequently the lead time for implementing your intended project. And that eats into your image, so service delivery in the end. So that is the disadvantage of the landlocked country. So that's a big challenge that we cannot do. There's nothing we can do for now except to try to come with better efficiencies of how the materials can be procured in a faster way from overseas.
Yeah. There's emphasis on rural electrification. In terms of the Botswana Power Corporation, what is being done?
The emphasis in rural electrification, basically, we have been doing, as I said earlier, on grid extensions in already electrified villages, because as the village expands, new markets come, so you have to do some grid extension. The other area would be electrification of new villages that have never been electrified. We do this through extension of the national grids, sometimes through cross-border supply using our bilateral relations with our neighboring countries. Of course, we've gone to the area of solar, so that we supply particularly the low-end rural electrification, rural customers with solar products like the solar home system, the solar lanterns, the hot bags. We've done those, and they have been, there is a promise in terms of getting the products in that respect. Right now, Botswana is doing a lot of trials around solar because we see it as a potential to also gravitate the momentum of rural electrification. Yeah.
And lastly, as an advisory board member to the African Utility Week, what do you foresee happening at next year's event?
Yeah. Africa Utility Week is hosted in a fast-growing continent. If you recall, Nicolette, the fastest, Africa hosts 7 of the 10 fastest growing economies. This means to say that our international partners will be interested to come and see how they can leverage and assist us achieve our goals. And it also says that the African continent, or the Africans, will also want to converge to come and say, how can we tap into our international partners who will be here to come and assist us move faster as our economy goes forward. So I see an Africa Utility Week that will grow in terms of the number of people and the diversity in terms of the participants. I see an even very bigger event of various aspects, not only in water, also in other sectors like telecom, as I said earlier on. So I see a bigger event.
Fantastic. Well, I personally look forward to seeing a lot more coming out of Botswana, projects and more rural electrification coming on board.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.